Forests are the most incredible and valuable places on Earth. They're home to thousands of plants and animal species that live and thrive in their unique ecosystems. Forests are the lungs of our planet, and besides providing us with clean air, they give us food, medicine, building material, and much more. Forests are our most important defense against climate change. They act as carbon sinks and they pull carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. Studies have shown that forests store around 450 billion tons of carbon dioxide, which would otherwise be polluting our atmosphere. But despite the importance of forests for the well-being of our planet, they're being systematically destroyed all across the world. This process is known as deforestation.
These warm orangey tones, that's forest disturbance. That means forest was removed. We didn't know that was going on. Colombia, Peru, Paraguay, Bolivia, we can go anywhere and see actual forests be cleared.
Annually, we cut down approximately 15 billion trees across the world. Can you imagine? Forest area the size of a football field is disappearing every second. In the last 30 years, forests have lost an area larger than India. By the time you finish watching this video, another 3 hectares of forest have been cut down. Unless additional actions are taken, rainforest may be completely gone in just 77 years. While logging does play a role in the process of deforestation, it has relatively small percentage in relation to other industries. Wood products account for approximately 10% of total deforestation. Major factor here is increasing global demand for food. It forces millions of acres of forest to be cleared for cattle, soybean and palm oil plantations, which are responsible for another 90%. Timber and fuel extraction, as well as wildfires, drive the partial destruction that is known as degradation. Logging is responsible for 60% of total forest loss due to degradation, which is around 400,000 hectares per year. All of this is an outcome of our rapid economic expansion and population growth, which are projected to increase dramatically. While harvesting timber is necessary for our economy, unrestrained deforestation can lead to the collapse of entire ecosystems that we depend on. The main players on the market of forest products are the United States, Canada, China, Russia, UK, and Sweden, with Canada being the #1 exporter and the US #1 importer. The US is also one of the world's leading producers and consumers of wood flooring. Wood as a flooring material can be considered renewable if sourced through sustainable forest management. In the US, the common species used for wood flooring include red oak, white oak, ash, walnut, cherry, and hickory. General life cycle of any wood product includes 5 stages: harvesting, cutting, manufacturing, use, and disposal. First 3 stages are characterized by high resource and energy demands and high risk of environmental and social impacts and issues, such as illegal logging and trading, loss of biodiversity, risks for workers' health and safety. Wood flooring production has very little waste compared to other flooring materials. Manufacturers use the leftover wood chips and sawdust to produce paper and other composite products, resulting in only 1% of material waste. Production of wood floors also requires less water and energy than any other flooring option. There are still a lot of illegal activities happening at the stage of harvesting, most often in countries such as Brazil, Indonesia, and China, that make it very hard to trace the origins of wood.
Mal au cœur parce que là, on détruit l'environnement.
It's heart-wrenching because we're destroying part of the environment in a way, but what else can we do?
Ça, faire comme on abat.
We cut it down because we're asked to. We have to cut this tree, get it out, and sell it so we can make a living.
On connaît un peu les perdiers.
However, many leading flooring businesses choose supply chain schemes where sourcing and manufacturing of products happen locally, and then the products are distributed to stores all over the world. This makes it easier to achieve transparent wood sourcing, more sustainable harvesting, and efficient production processes. The downside of this scheme is long shipping distances to consumer countries, which result in significant CO2 emissions. Cargo ships can use more than 100 tons of fuel per day and spend weeks traveling from one continent to another. In addition to that, there is a high risk related to unstable political situations in the world, which could disrupt transportation of the products and result in significant economic loss.
As consumers, we collectively have purchasing power and agency to make a real difference for our buying choices. The challenges to responsibly source and purchase wood flooring can feel overwhelming, but there are some simple yet effective considerations to make while selecting wood flooring and key questions you can ask before making your purchase.
One of the first things you can do when purchasing wood flooring is to check its source and origin. It is important to check if wood floors and packaging are FSC, PEFC, or SFI certified products.
Non-profit organizations like Forest Stewardship Council, also known as FSC, the Program for the Endorsement of Forest Certification, also known as PEFC, and the Sustainable Forestry Initiative, also known as SFI, are independent groups that certify the adherence to responsible forestry management practices related to afforestation, harvesting of wood, and replanting of trees. Organizations like this have come together with other wildlife and conservation groups, local workers, and indigenous communities to address and mitigate issues like biodiversity loss, conservation of indigenous animal habitat, deforestation, illegal logging, and also to reduce their collective effects on global warming. But to truly avoid deforestation, it is worth considering alternatives to traditional wood floor options like bamboo and cork floors, which are both made of rapidly renewable materials. Lastly, choose reputable distributors and retailers and let your buying power help influence what manufacturers produce and sell.
One simple action can have a profound impact. Look for products with FSC, PEFC, and SFI logos and help protect the health of our forests.